Hello from Germany, in Eisenach to be precise. Behind me you can see a lot of two-stroke action, some Wartburgs there, some Trabants, and in today's video you will see a lot of old Wartburg cars, because also in the background you see what's left from the old Wartburg factories. So I'm at the Startklar meeting here in Eisenach. Maybe translate to get started, get ready, I don't know, I may be wrong. So I will show you some of the cars to see here. Naturally lots of Wartburgs here. It's really quite interesting, so have fun, see you later. Some Wartburgs, these two here, the white one and the brown one, are the estate version called the Tourist, and then we have a later Wartburg right there, that green saloon over here. So production started in 1966, and the Wartburgs went through many facelifts and updates, well apart from the engine, and that was a problem of the car, if you will. So there was one first major update in the mid-70s, another update in the mid-80s. Well, most significant is the loss of chrome over the years. So I don't know what year this is. This looks very early, and you can see all the chrome there: chrome grille, chrome bumpers, chrome parts at the wheels, chromed wipers, mirrors, and on this one it's not that much chrome. So this has the newer wheels with the plastic parts on it, plastic mirrors. Still chrome door handles, there they are, and this mid-80 model looks very different. As you can see, this has the original front spoiler. It's completely de-chromed, as you can see. Black bumpers, black plastic mirrors, black plastic door handles, and so on. The 353S plastic badge. Let's see what do we have on here. We have the tourist badge on both of these cars, and I said with all the chrome. So why they look different? So on these earlier models, the radiator was situated just behind the engine, somewhere right there, and at some point they changed the whole layout and the radiator went to the front of the car. So that's why it got a new front end, which actually it's only a part of it. It's this sort of fascia that they've changed. So over its whole production span, well, there wasn't a lot of money, but there were a lot of ideas. So there were lots of ideas to get new engines in it, to make the car more modern, and this was all not going to happen. So this badge is also interesting, because while the saloon car was produced right here in the back, this was produced right here. The Tourist, the estate, wasn't. They were produced in, well, I'm not sure, either Meran or in Dresden. I think these were produced in Dresden, and I think the cars came built in Eisenach until maybe this part here, and then it got all the estate panels at the other factory. I'm not sure if it's, well, as you can hear, I think it's maybe glass fiber or something. Well, as usual, I will correct myself. Maybe right here. Very exciting one. This is the Robo-mobile 2. This is built in 1973 in East Germany. It's a hand-built DIY car project, and that was based on the underpinnings of a 62 VW 1600. Interesting cars. Let's check out some of the details. I also love the curvature of this sort of panel here. I think the car is made out of glass fiber. And what else to see here? So this has gullwing doors, by the way. Gullwing doors for the, well, for everyone in this four-seater sports car, with parts and bits of, well, a lot of different cars. These are Skoda rear lights. What I think is particularly interesting is the opening mechanism of the quarter light. And this quarter light, I think it is open like this way, not like this. Usually on a quarter light, it's just a lovely piece of engineering, if you ask me. So yeah, Robo-mobile 2. This is actually the second Robo-mobile I've seen. There's another one, a red example in the Volkswagen Stiftung Museum. I'm actually quite surprised because I thought that the one in the Volkswagen Museum is maybe the only one left, but it isn't. This is running and driving, built in Halle, still on Halle plates, by the way. So absolutely exciting. I think these are VW wheels as well, pop-up headlights, or what you want from a sports car, really. I think the front window here is sourced from a Wartburg 353. I'm pretty sure it is. And now we are at one of the most interesting cars here at today's show. What looks like a pretty regular Wartburg 353. Well, it isn't. This has not the old two-stroke engine. This has a four-stroke. So around 76, 78, Wartburg really needed something to still get a hand on the Western European market, and because all of the emission regulations, it was pretty hard. It was impossible for a two-stroke. So there were talks with Dacia, there were talks with Skoda, there were talks with, well, later Renault, because when the Dacia engines turned to be too expensive, Wartburg started to talk with Renault to get, well, Renault engines, but it was not going to happen, unfortunately. There were 6 to 8 prototypes for it, and this is one of it. Just check out the original number plate from the factory saying Versuchsfahrzeug. Show you one amazing detail at the back. Oh, one thing first, sports seats. This is a very cool option, cool look for this car, especially in this color combination. And when you see at the back, it actually says Wartburg 1300. It's a very cool detail, if you ask me. Something from the Soviet Union, and that is the Volga model M21. This is built in 1960. A very impressive car in my eyes. Very good looking car. It actually got some design prizes when it came out. Impressive, very, very large. Just have a look inside. There was some detail I always loved. This is the layout of the dashboard. I don't know if you can see that here. Very, very interesting. Gas M21 with a little Volga sign here at the end, because this was marketed as the Volga. One of the interesting facts about this car is the production in Belgium. There were many Russian cars produced in Belgium, such as the Moskvich and this Volga, and sold under the Skaldia brand, which is kind of odd and very interesting. By the way, Skaldia cars, they were available with diesel engines from Perkins, I think from Peugeot, and from Rover. So you could have a Volga with a Rover diesel engine. Well, and some years later, the M21 was followed by the M24. This one was a very nice looking car. Back in the day, a fairly modern design, lots of chrome around it. I loved always this little detail here at the C-pillar with is it a driving light maybe? I don't know. Let's see at the back of it. Nice typical Volga M24 color. In East Germany, the GDR, these were not sold to the public, I guess, but very, very popular. For example, among taxi companies, of course, owned by the state. It's a very, very interesting car. This had a life somewhere in, well, maybe Russia until, I don't know. You will know. You will tell me. Some more original stuff. So this had no life in the GDR. This is imported somewhere later. And another M24. This is a later model. About its quite long production span, it went through many updates, and one of it was this new kind of dechromed plastic grille. I'd say these are not original colors. They're quite an impressive car, even this later one. And here we are at another interesting car. This is the Wartburg race transporter, used for hauling the Wartburg race cars around. But it looks like a 1.3, but as far as I know, it just got the front in some parts and the inside of the later 1.3. It still has the bonnet of the original two-stroke. So as far as I know, it's still a two-stroke, but it's looking like a four-stroke. This is one of my show's favorites. This mid-80s 353 with the already updated front, and it still has these old German DIN-Kennzeichen. What I love about it, this is far from being a garage queen. This is well used. It has the sporty seats too, all very used. Just have a look at it. These were very popular in the GDR, very sought after car. Actually, my parents had one of those, and it's beautifully parked right here in front of the old factories. And just beside the car, another estate version, the Tourist. This is the 1.3. Oh, this is not an original color, but it's also on the old DIN plates, as you can see. That's a beautiful pair. What you can see is how different they were in the details. So this is the original Tourist bag, and this is the 1.3, and it looked really quite different. Well, it gave the car slightly more room in the back. Well, do I have to say something about this? Well, I think no, because these are legends. And by the way, the much rarer, more civil form of this, the Audi Sport Quattro. Quite an impressive car, if you ask me. I think it's the third one I've seen so far in the wild. It's quite funny. Many people walking around this car debating if it's real, if it's original or not. To me it looks fairly real, but honestly I don't mind. Let us check out some details of the rally car. Just check out this massive radiator here at the back of the car in the rear spoiler. So there are the Monte Carlo badges. Impressive cars. But I'm not that much into rallying and all that stuff, so I can't tell you a lot of these cars. Some rally cars from Wartburg. So over its whole production span, Wartburg was quite involved into rallying and actually were quite successful. So there were the Monte, there were many different rallies all over Europe, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, the lot. Here we have different versions of the Wartburg 311, later 312, much later the 1000. All in all, there were 9 different versions built about its whole production span. This is the 3-door estate. There were actually 2 versions with different rear end. The saloon version, very nice 2-color, and also 2-colored the convertible. And also the convertible was not built in Eisenach. So there's another badge here, and again, just like the estate version of the 353, I'm not sure where it was. It was either Marane or it was Dresden, and I think these were built in Marane. It's very beautiful, very expressive, very impressive car. Absolutely love the 2-color look of this. Just check out the whole dashboard layout. It's made out of wood. The white steering wheel with the Wartburg badge, brown leather. Impressive car. Kind of an oddball today, but actually old Saabs have their very own 2-stroke history. This is a 96, and it looks absolutely stunning. Just look at all the panels. It has a lovely patina. Well, I say these are speed holes. Just have a look at it. For me, this looks pretty much perfect. Love the seats. And also, just like Wartburg, Saab had quite a rally history. Small Saab badge here at the C pillar. Just check out how it's inside. Yeah, absolutely lovely. So this looks like a very early 353. Well, production started in 1966. This has, by the way, the old East German number plate, and I think the I letter was for Berlin and the surroundings of Berlin. So this has still a lot of chrome, chrome bumpers, chrome grille. This is a deluxe, so it's not the poverty spec. There's some chrome trim down below there at the sill. Still the old steering wheel. This is, by the way, also the sport seats. Even that's not chrome. I think that's just painted to look like it would be. When on that car, even the Wartburg badge is chromed. So this is what an early 353 looked like. Another bit of Eisenach history, and this is the EMW 342, and well, you can see the lines of some old BMW design, and it actually started life as something like that. And if you have a look at the badge, you know what it looks like? It looks like a BMW badge. So at some point BMW in West Germany demanded BMW in East Germany to use another name, so changed that to the Eisenacher Motorenwerke EMW. This is, by the way, the police version of the car. It says Volkspolizei on the roof. These were massive cars. Let's check out how it looks inside of it. Early 311, 312 convertible. I hope you can understand it because music right over there is pretty loud. But let's have a look at this. Always loved how the mirrors, not the mirrors, the wipers on this are mounted. What else I see here? Well, when I came here, this had a little sign on the windscreen said "Doctors at Work." Ah, there it is. There it is. Arzt im Dienst. So the wealthy East German doctor at work with his beautiful 311, 312 convertible. See, at some of the other cars we have some 311, 312s, very early cars, the Wartburgs 1000. Actually quite nice. You can see the very old one right beside the last one. Well, let's talk about this very interesting Wartburg 1.3 because this is the second to last production model of this car, and this has a very, very interesting history. So when production ended with Wartburg and the last Wartburg was coming down the line, they had this red car as some sort of reserve car because, well, they were afraid of that some angry worker with good reasons will throw something on the last one. So this was the reserve car, and that is very, very interesting with the, I think these were Irmscher wheels. I'm not sure about this. Irmscher was a German tuning company. Irmscher was very interested in getting something out, to squeeze a little bit out of the good old Wartburg with the VW engine. For me, it's one of the most interesting cars. Well, I said that many times before. Many interesting cars. So some 311s, 312s, or Wartburg 1000. Well, I want to correct myself here because these are the Irmscher wheels. These are the more interesting info about this car. So it's a Wartburg 1.3, but it has the very, very rare 1300 badge because the 1.3 was actually planned to be the 1300, but that was skipped and no one knows why. And this car is very, very interesting because this belonged once to the last boss of Wartburg, I think Wolfgang Liefke, so that's why it has some very interesting extras. It has a original Blaupunkt stereo, it had a phone, it had the later seats from an Opel. Well, yeah, interesting car. Let's go around that. There are the Blaupunkt loudspeakers, and it has the Irmscher wheels. So you can say this is an impressive top spec Wartburg 1.3. Well, super interesting car. And what it also had was, just check out the inside again, it had a 5-speed gearbox. So, yeah. very cool car. Now let's check out how one of these cars looked like maybe back in, well, 1988 when the 1.3 came out. This has the, well, old East German number plates, but already in a West German layout. This is the 1.3 in beige color. It's a rusty car with a speed hole again. These are the old seats in contrast to the later Opel Kadett sourced seats in it. I got these grey massive bumpers. You can think of it, well, what you want, but at least it gave Wartburg another years until it was all over. By the way, now let's see the whole thing. This is the Ostkantine, that sort of car collection. Then we have the old factory buildings, and right over there, this is the Wartburg Museum. Also really quite interesting. Well, I prefer the Ostkantine, but where it's not open to the public. And this is definitely one of the Wartburg icons. This is the Wartburg S, and it looks absolutely stunning. That was the sporty version of it. Just check out the air intakes. These are a mock-up as far as I know, and it's a very, very impressive car with a hardtop. Not sure if it had some sort of folding roof. I think it hadn't. It's absolutely impressive and very lovely car. So in my eyes, it's one of the best looking two-stroke cars ever built. One interesting detail, it has a very, very large and long bonnet, but where the engine is maybe somewhere right here, so there's not a lot of engine in it. Let's see how it looks inside. Just as the convertible, it has a wooden dash, at least some wood over the dashboard itself. Inside, it looks very, very different to all the other 311, 312 cars. So inside, it's absolutely lovely. And the car for sale with the run-in engine is this lovely Skoda Octavia, and it's a combi. It's the estate version of this car. Just check out how it sounds. A split folding rear hatch. There was a 3-door estate, never available as a 4-door. The Octavia was in estate, was a 3-door saloon convertible. That was all possible. Just check out these little fins right here. Lovely piece of design. Now, very interesting. This is a Sabaroshes 968M, and this is one of the later versions of this car. Has quite a NSU look to me. This is a later version. Earlier version had a very, very different air intake, and these had round rear lights. And there we have the engine. There's an interesting rumor about the engine. That is, this was some sort of supporting engine for a Russian helicopter engine. I don't know if it's just a rumor. Fun car. Another rare Wartburg. This is the Trans. This was the pickup version on the base of the Wartburg 353. Later 1.3. These were a very, very rare sight in East Germany. Not sold to the public, but quite successful on the export market. So you will find them more in other countries than in Germany. This has I think this is a DIY thing here on the back, and there you can see that sort of embroidered Wartburg trans sign on it. Check out this track-ready Skoda 130. Also a very impressive car built in the Czech Republic. The coupe version was never officially sold in East Germany, and I think it's one of the most beautiful rear-engined cars. Very, very nice and impressive in this sort of racy look. And another Wartburg Trans. This is the last version of it, the 1.3, and just as the other Trans versions, this is a very, very rare car. Again, never sold officially to the public in the GDR, but in many other countries. And another exciting Skoda. This is the Rapide 130, the coupe, and it does have a 5-speed gearbox, as the badge proudly says. It's a very, very nice car. Never available in East Germany. Just check out how it looks front. This is the one of the later versions with the no front end. It's an exciting car. I think it's one of the mostly underrated rear-engined sports coupes and cars. Lovely. And now let's have a look at some Barkases. Before we do that, just enjoy the proper sound of a lovely Trabant 601 in all its two-stroke glory, followed by a Lada. I think it's a 2107, and will buy a lot of cars actually. So that kind of makes it harder to show you the cars right over there. We have a VW T2 van, and then we have the East German takes on a van. Check out this. And there it goes with a nice smile by the owner. And now we go to these interesting cars. This is a Barkas 1001. And I think the 1001 was the one with the 4-stroke engine. There you go. And this is what it proudly says. It's a 4-stroke Barkas, and with the same engine as the Wartburg 1.3. And it looks no different than any other regular Barkas. Another 1001 variant. Later in its life, it got those sliding doors. For many, many years, it just hadn't any sliding door. We can check out what's going on here. It has also a sliding door. So the Wartburg B1000, that was the correct name of it. If you have a look inside of this car, this even had the last type of steering wheel of all the Barkases. They usually had the same one, just as the Wartburgs. So this is a 353 with the very, very interesting details, and these are double headlights. It's a very, very rare extra. These were not officially produced by Wartburg. I think some private person started to selling these. Well, I will give you some more information here on that screen. Other than that, it's a pretty regular Wartburg car. Chrome bumpers, some sun protection, sporty seats, some extra gauges right there. Let's check out the looks of the double headlights again, because I think it looks absolutely stunning. Lada coming right here. And a 1.3 all the way from Norway. This is a 5-door Lada Zamara, but to be precise, this is a Lada Baltic GL 1500, and this was very different to all the other Zamaras available, with an updated inside and an updated front, and these were actually built in Finland. So this is a Soviet-Russian design ending up to be built in Finland. Okay, two BMWs from two very interesting periods. This one is the original E9 series with the famous Hofmeister kink right there, with a lovely BMW badge on it, and Paul Brack, he took over design from BMW, coming directly from Mercedes-Benz, and if you ask me, 6 Series is his best design, his best work at all. This is a M6, this is a US spec car, which is absolutely stunning. If you follow me on Instagram, you just saw a feature about the 6 Series. US spec, bumpers, side markers. Pretty sure we have we have MPH gauges. That is the back of it with California plates. 6 Series M6 on fat BBS rims. Just parked beside this lovely E9 CS. Let's take another look at this 311 312 3-door estate. This has the rather rare export grille, and just told you when I've been at the Ostkantine, there were actually 2 versions of the 3-door estate. There was a more round rear treatment, and this was the last one with the kind of boxy look, and it says 312, so these were the last version of the 3-door estate. Lada 1200S, one of the many versions of the Italian Fiat 124 design on, well, questionable wheels. Just have a look at that. Other than that, it looks very original. I think the Fiat 124 design is a very beautiful and clean design. If you would ask me about my favorite versions, for me it's always the Fiat 124, especially the last ones, and the oddest version is maybe the Indian Premier 118E, which was actually based on the late Seat 124. And these were sold in Germany. These were first go by the name Shiguli, and they switched later to Lada. And this car is one of the most beautiful East German produced cars, maybe East European produced cars as well. I mean, we've already seen the Wartburg S, which is a stunning looking car, and so was the P70 coupe. The P70 born as some sort of interim car until the development for the Trabant was done. So they had the P70 was sold as a two-door saloon and a 3-door estate, and this very beautiful coupe version, of course 2-stroke engine. There we have original parking disc back from the GDR. Lovely interior, it's all original. What I absolutely love is the there's a very, very loud car. It's the Audi Sport leaving the whole thing here. And now it's, I think, I stopped the engine. Back to this. The coupe had a rear hatch that was unique to the coupe. There we have the original badge P70 coupe. These all also go by the name Zwickau. P70 Zwickau, built by Sachsenring in Zwickau. And it's just a amazing sight. I think these are, it's a pillarless coupe. Just a fantastic design for a car. And that's the end of today's video. I'm not sure if you get this in 1, 2 or 3 parts, because I've seen a lot today. The car show here behind me. I've been to the Ostkantine, that's sort of car collection behind me. And I've been to the AWE museum as well. So maybe 2 parts, maybe 3 parts. Well, hope you enjoy all the videos. Take care.